when people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know?
Ricky Gervais didn't hold back for even a second. He shredded Meghan Markle's Netflix fairy tale with jokes so sharp, the audience had to check if she would ever recover. He called out every dramatic pause, every poor me moment, and every glamorized struggle like he was cutting through Hollywood fog. If Meghan's story is all about truth, what happens when comedy exposes the parts that don't add up? Meghan's authenticity problem.
Lack of authenticity, that she, at the same time as dropping loose fruit spread, she uploads a video of Lily talking about how beautiful this bowl is of jam that her mom's making at home.
Ricky Gervais zeroed in on something that a lot of Meghan Markle critics have been saying for a long time. She keeps telling the world she is showing her real, raw, and vulnerable self. Yet the camera captures her glowing, like she just stepped out of a luxury spa day. Ricky joked that if that is what pain looks like, then he needs whatever moisturizer she is using because not a hair is out of place. Her lighting is perfect. Her makeup is flawless. Even her tearful moments look like they were shot by a Vogue team. There is nothing raw about a moment that has been polished to perfection.
Not to joke about all the bad things, that's a waste, because that's exactly what we should joke about. If you can laugh in the face of adversity, you're bulletproof.
Ricky argued that the series feels more like a commercial for Meghan's personal brand than a documentary about her real life. She tells us she is struggling while sitting in a multi-million-dollar mansion with soft-focus lighting making her look angelic. She insists she just wants to be understood, but every scene seems designed to make her look like a saint who has given up everything for love and truth. Ricky pointed out that audiences today are sharp. They know when they are being marketed to. And Meghan's show feels like a giant ad disguised as emotional storytelling. The comedian said the biggest issue is that Meghan wants to be relatable while refusing to give up the Hollywood glam. You cannot be a normal mom who is just like everyone else when you are surrounded by luxury brands, stylists, and camera crews capturing your every sigh. Ricky teased that if you are going to present yourself as vulnerable, at least skip the glam squad. Otherwise, the message becomes, watch how relatable I am after 4 hours of makeup. He also noted how much the show leans into the Meghan is the savior of everything narrative. Meghan positions herself as the only voice of kindness, the one breaking royal traditions, the one standing up for justice, the one suffering for her bravery. Ricky said audiences aren't stupid. They know life is more complicated than one perfect hero versus a world full of villains. According to Ricky, the more Meghan tries to look authentic, the more fake she seems. He called it a performance that tries too hard to convince everyone she's a victim. And the moment viewers feel manipulation instead of sincerity, they disconnect. Copy-paste, royal drama.
Substance, if the best she could do was putting pretzels in a plastic bag, what is there to promote?
Ricky didn't stop at Meghan's authenticity act. He also ripped into the storyline of her Netflix series, calling it boringly familiar. He joked, "Is this a sequel? Because we already heard this story the first time." And honestly, he has a point. From Oprah to Spotify to every magazine interview, the plot never changes. Meghan suffered. Harry was trapped. The royal family didn't understand them. The British press is evil. And everyone but them is the problem. The Netflix show just repeated the same message with new outfits. Ricky said the show promises fresh insights into their journey but delivers nothing new. Instead of revelations, viewers got recycled royal drama, repackaged with more emotional music and slightly different camera angles. It's like watching a reboot of a movie that didn't need a reboot in the first place. He mockingly asked if Netflix is planning future seasons where Meghan complains about running out of avocado toast in Montecito. The comedian also mocked how every moment in the show is treated like a world-altering crisis. A seating chart issue becomes a traumatic event. A tabloid headline becomes a historical tragedy. One family disagreement is edited like the climax of a political thriller. Ricky said that when everything is painted as dramatic and shocking, nothing actually feels dramatic or shocking. Viewers start rolling their eyes instead of feeling sympathy. He made another sharp observation. Meghan and Harry left the royal family to escape the attention and pressure. Yet, here they are, recreating the same royal drama for Netflix cameras. Ricky said if they truly wanted distance from the monarchy, they wouldn't still be talking about it non-stop. The show proves they didn't leave the royal spotlight. They dragged it with them to California. Ricky joked that Meghan is stuck in a storytelling loop, like a character who refuses to let their story evolve. Everything comes back to the monarchy. Everything comes back to her pain. There's no growth, no resolution, just more complaining with dramatic pauses. He said if they plan to keep producing content like this, the audience deserves loyalty points, or at least a bingo card with racism allegation, paparazzi trauma, and we just want privacy on repeat. He summed up the whole series in one line. Meghan and Harry are not sharing new chapters of their life. They're rewriting the same old chapter over and over again and selling it as groundbreaking television. Ricky believes viewers want a narrative that moves forward, not one that circles the drain of past grudges. Playing the victim but cashing in.
But gee, she likes playing the victim. We're talking about tears over bridesmaids' dresses and stuff like.
Ricky Gervais has a special talent for pointing out hypocrisy in the most hilarious way possible, and Meghan Markle's storyline gave him plenty of material. He went straight at the contradiction at the center of her narrative. Meghan constantly talks about being a victim of the royal family and the media, yet she is also earning millions, telling that very story again and again. Ricky summed it up perfectly with a sharp line. You can't claim to be a victim while earning millions from victimhood. The audience burst into laughter because, deep down, many people have been thinking the same thing.
Has played in my mind, to a particular extent, the victim card.
Do we know who?
He noted that every time Meghan says she wants privacy or peace, she signs another lucrative deal to talk about how difficult her life is. Netflix, podcasts, books, interviews, every new project is packaged around the emotional pain she claims to desperately want to escape. Ricky argued that if you truly want to move forward, you don't keep cashing checks for reliving the same trauma on camera. The comedian also pointed out that Meghan and Harry accused the media of exploiting them, but they now exploit their own personal drama even more aggressively. They left the royal family saying they needed freedom from the spotlight, then voluntarily dragged the spotlight into their new home. Ricky joked that being a victim has become their business model. Their pain is the product, and their audience is the customers who pay for the next episode. What makes the joke land harder is the glamour wrapped around it. Meghan sits in designer clothes in a mansion worth more than most people will ever see in 5 lifetimes, telling the world she is mistreated. Ricky compared it to a celebrity standing on a red carpet crying about how difficult fame is, while promoting their newest movie. He said Meghan doesn't just share her story. She monetizes it, markets it, and builds a billion-dollar brand around it. Meghan's disconnect from real-life struggles. Another focal point of Ricky Gervais's roast was Meghan Markle's disconnect from the everyday struggles that normal people face. Ricky pointed out that viewers don't connect with her because her hard times look a lot like luxury. When she talks about emotional suffering, she's sitting in a house worth tens of millions with a lush garden behind her and staff likely just outside the frame. Ricky joked that it's hard to cry for someone who lives like that when a regular person is just trying to survive inflation and pay their utility bills. Ricky said that if Meghan wants people to relate to her, she needs to show something real. Not a scripted photo shoot, not a staged documentary moment, real life. Because when Meghan talks about how exhausting fame is, the average viewer only hears, "My mansion is so tiring." People around the world are working 2 jobs, juggling childcare, worrying about medical bills, or rent. Meghan's struggles simply don't translate. He compared her show to a wealthy influencer pretending to live simply while holding a $5,000 handbag. There is a disconnect that goes beyond wealth. It becomes tone deaf. Ricky said Meghan doesn't understand that being privileged isn't the problem. The problem is pretending you're not privileged while showing off the privilege constantly on screen. Ricky also said that her message feels like it's aimed at a tiny audience, other celebrities. The show offers no comfort, no real encouragement, no relatable wisdom for ordinary people. Ricky joked that the only viewers who might feel inspired are other rich people trying to feel oppressed. Everyone else sees a Hollywood production pretending to be a cry for help. Audiences crave authenticity now more than ever. People want to hear stories of real hardship, real obstacles, real growth. Meghan's version of struggle looks like a lifestyle magazine spread with a teardrop filter. Ricky said she could inspire millions if she stopped selling herself as the unseen underdog and instead acknowledged her advantages honestly. His final observation summed up why people find her narrative frustrating. Meghan and Harry escaped royalty, but they still want to be treated like modern-day royalty, admired, supported, applauded, without the duties or responsibilities. They traded palace balconies for Netflix spotlights, then complained that everyone is watching, exploiting serious issues for entertainment.
Allowed Meghan to have her head, because one thing I would say about it is we're probably seeing the unvarnished, I would say Meghan Markle, but she calls herself Meghan Sussex in the...
Ricky Gervais didn't shy away from the touchiest parts of Meghan Markle's public narrative. In fact, he went straight to them. He slammed the way Meghan uses topics like racism and mental health in her Netflix storytelling, and he explained why so many people are uncomfortable with it. Ricky said that when someone talks about such serious issues, there should be real honesty and vulnerability behind it. For him, Meghan's version feels more like a cinematic strategy than a genuine cry for awareness. Ricky pointed out that issues like racial injustice and mental health struggles affect millions of people every single day. They are painful, heavy, and, in some cases, life-threatening battles. Yet on Meghan's show, they are wrapped in Hollywood lighting and dramatic music, as if they are set pieces meant to boost engagement. Ricky argued that this kind of glamorization turns real suffering into a backdrop for Meghan's self-image, not a meaningful discussion that could help others.
She keeps saying, even if you have a little flat somewhere, you can still make it lovely. And it goes on and on like this. One of my favourite moments is she starts rhapsodizing about radishes.
He said that when Meghan talks about being mentally distressed while sitting in a mansion and surrounded by a full production crew, something feels off. She speaks about suicidal thoughts, but instead of offering resources, interviews with doctors, or tools for healing, the scene focuses on how beautiful she looks through that emotion. Ricky said it feels like the documentary is asking viewers to admire her pain, not understand it. The comedian also criticized how Meghan brings up racism. He acknowledged racism is real and terrifying for those who face it. But he says Meghan talks about it in a way that benefits her brand more than the cause. Ricky explained that when a public figure uses racism only when convenient, they risk diluting the seriousness of it for everyone else. He said Meghan hints at racism without naming names or providing solid examples, which leaves the audience confused and the royal family damaged with nowhere to defend themselves. That, to him, is manipulative. He took it a step further. Ricky said Meghan's narrative makes it seem like she discovered racism only after becoming a duchess. Real people have faced discrimination their entire lives. They don't get Netflix deals to talk about it. They don't get millions of dollars for sad storytelling. Ricky argued that when privilege wears a victim crown, the line between awareness and exploitation becomes blurry. He ended his criticism with a warning. When celebrities use real-world trauma as marketing, viewers learn to question every emotional message that comes from Hollywood. And that is dangerous. People who truly need help might not be taken seriously anymore. Serious issues deserve serious voices, not curated vulnerability dripping with glam and PR strategy. Social media reacts, half laughing, half furious. Once Ricky Gervais finished his roast, the internet did what it always does. It exploded. Clips of the segment spread across TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube within minutes. People were either cheering his honesty or calling him a bully. There was no in-between. Ricky's humor has always divided opinions, and this time was no different, especially when the jokes landed on someone as polarizing as Meghan Markle. Many viewers praised Ricky for saying what they've been afraid to say out loud. They felt relieved hearing someone finally question Meghan's endless storytelling about her struggles. Comments poured in from people who thought Meghan's show was too dramatic, too polished, and too self-centered. One popular tweet read, "Ricky Gervais just told the truth with a punchline, and it hurt." Others joked that Netflix should hire Ricky to write season 2 because at least then it would be funny. On the flip side, Meghan's supporters were not amused. They argued that Ricky was just adding to the media harassment that Meghan has faced for years. To them, humor should not target someone's trauma, and they believed Ricky was minimizing her mental health experiences. Some accused him of punching down and reinforcing the same negativity that drove Meghan to leave the royal family in the first place. Hashtags defending Meghan began trending, with fans insisting that her voice deserves to be heard without mockery. But the irony Ricky highlighted started shining through the more the debate grew. His entire point was about celebrity culture thriving on attention, drama, and public reaction. And here it was, proven in real time. The controversy of his roast became part of the entertainment. People argued, reacted, stitched videos, and debated morality while generating more views, more engagement, and more buzz around both Ricky and Meghan. Ricky's fans pointed out that this kind of public debate is exactly why Meghan does these shows. The more people argue about her, the more headlines she gets. The more headlines she gets, the more power her brand holds. Ricky was not only mocking her narrative, but also exposing how the industry works. Attention equals currency. Media analysts chimed in saying Ricky's roast tapped into a cultural divide. Some people are tired of curated victim stories being sold as activism. Others believe celebrities deserve space to tell their truth. Both sides now see Meghan as a symbol, either of empowerment or of entitlement. Meanwhile, Ricky didn't apologize or backtrack. He joked that if people didn't like his commentary, they didn't have to watch. That only fueled the fire, because controversy is Ricky's playground. The reaction showed one thing very clearly. Meghan remains one of the most talked about women on the planet, whether the world loves her or laughs at her. And Ricky's roast didn't just entertain, it reminded everyone that fame today isn't about respect or tradition, it's about who keeps the internet talking. Ricky's bigger message: Hollywood reality isn't reality. Ricky Gervais is known for jokes that sting because they reveal something true underneath the laughter. His roast of Meghan Markle wasn't just about her Netflix show, it was about what she represents in today's celebrity world. Ricky argued that fame is no longer about talent, achievement, or genuine personality. It is built on carefully crafted narratives, emotional marketing, and the perfect PR angle. He said celebrities don't sell entertainment anymore. They sell their trauma, their victimhood, and their struggle, even when that struggle is wrapped in velvet and luxury homes. Ricky believes the public has reached a tipping point. People are tired of being told to feel sorry for millionaires who complain about attention while sitting under studio lighting. They want real stories from real people who actually face hardship every day. That is why Ricky's jokes hit so hard. He said what many viewers feel but don't always say. If your pain looks like a perfume commercial, it's hard to take seriously. The internet has trained us to spot what is staged from a mile away. He pointed out how Hollywood creates a script for celebrities to follow. Play the victim just enough to gain sympathy, cry in slow motion, and mention social issues so the audience sees you as a hero. Ricky said that when those tactics are used to gain brand power and profits, it becomes manipulative instead of inspiring. He made the point that Meghan's show feels like it was written to make her look perfect, not human. No flaws, no mistakes, just a glowing figure surrounded by villains. People can't trust that kind of storytelling anymore. Ricky also reminded everyone that celebrities are masters at shaping public opinion. They control their image through social media, publicists, and massive media deals. They show you what they want you to believe. He urged viewers to question everything they see, especially when it comes from someone with something to sell. Meghan and Harry's story isn't just being told, it is being packaged for profit, and Ricky made sure that didn't go unnoticed. His message wasn't cruel, it was cautionary. Ricky said that when real-world issues like racism or mental health become content instead of conversations, something important gets lost. The seriousness fades behind the glamour. The struggle becomes entertainment. He fears that the more celebrities turn personal trauma into television, the less people will believe anyone who comes forward with genuine pain. Ricky ended his thoughts by putting responsibility back in viewers' hands. Don't just accept stories at face value. Look deeper. Ask who benefits. Check what is missing. Because in Hollywood, reality is just another scene for the camera. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.